Okay. Now we will cover up these two rules because generally they are the more important rules in a sense. They are asked in your vivas, interviews generally because this is something you have to explain. The rule number 5 is lookout. The important part is what is lookout means you are looking out for anything that can endanger you. Okay, your existence because you are moving with a moving vehicle, and in case somebody comes and you meet an accident and then you don't know, accident is something not planned, so you can't be sure about what will be the damage. So we don't want anybody to come in contact with us the way when we drive car. When we drive car also we are keeping lookout. What? By visible thing, by ears, as well as we use rear view mirrors to see anybody behind. So you see the principle is same. What is lookout? Lookout is looking 360 degrees view. Now we don't look up because you don't expect anybody to fall from there. So what we do in the car, it is the same thing what we do here. Now you must have heard this part, like in USA the truckers and all use radars to detect, radar detector, police use radars. The vehicles, that was illegal also some time ago, but they used to hide and have to detect the presence of police radar, that means speed checking. Then they also had a system to report, like VHF was used in USA. On the frequencies were different, marine frequencies are different. And if I see a cop standing there who is going to check, so I will, they used to use code language and they all had names like I am Smokey, you are Dogo, and all sorts of things. So they used to announce, and this cop was called Smokey, I think. Smokey is at this point. That means be careful. So that is the same system what we are looking here in the rule. Every vessel shall at all times maintain proper lookout, usual by eyes and your ears, hearing, as well as by all available means appropriate in prevailing circumstances and conditions, so as to make full appraisal of the situation and of the risk of collision. Now appraisal is one part. Appraisal is you are getting information together and doing appraisal. Risk of collision may be part of, means it will be part of appraisal, but a non risk of collision also is part of appraisal. Appraisal is gathering information and thinking and working out what is the probability of, say, risk of collision, and take action accordingly. Now prevailing circumstances are different. Visibility is here, issues are the visibility, excessive traffic, all those are the circumstances. So you use all available means for what? Just to get the information across the 360-degree spectrum. What you want to know is there anybody going to collide with me? So we have to know everything, and then we rule out. We rule out this is not going to collide, so it's clear, this is clear, this is yes, this is dangerous. So that is what you do after appraisal. You work out the risk of collision. Now, this is the same thing what we do when we drive on the road, when you ride a cycle. You do the same thing. Correct? Even when as a kid you start riding the cycle, you always maintain sort of, कुछ आजू बाजू कोई सुनने को आता है नहीं आता है. 1 minute. मी नंतर कॉल करतो जरा क्लासमध्ये. ओके. When we are riding motorcycle, it's the same story. We see, we hear, कोई चिल्ला रहा है, अरे किधर जा रहा है, अच्छा अच्छा ठहरो. So the senses are working. The same senses we are going to use here as a lookout. And in addition to the natural senses, your natural senses have got range. What I can see is within certain range. Like, for example, a typical face, or say, let's put down an easier way. Reading a number plate written in a standard dimensions. RTO has got a test, I think it says that from 10 meters or 15 meters you should be able to read the number correctly. Fine, the fonts are given, everything is okay. Why you have got a range? Because you know the human eye can separate things up to some distance with all the contrast, everything added up. Some people may be better, means suppose, assume that a certain dimension of fonts I can read, say black and white combination, I can read at a range of say 15 meters with the perfect eyesight. There will be people who may be able to read it at 20 meters. There will be some people who may not be able to read at 5 meters. Possible. But you are not going to get somebody who can read it at 100 meters. So there is a limitation. All our senses have got limitation. Plus minus between human beings, and that's the end of it. So you need additional things, because I want to have at long range. So that is where we got radars. After radars, we started using that information by using ARPA. Those are all available means. Then came AIS system. AIS system started, it be VHF based, but it is meant for different purpose, because it can be picked up by low orbiting satellites. That means the satellite can also monitor the area, and a supercomputer can work out very quickly which ship, because you may have hundreds of ships. It will work out which two ships are likely to collide and at what time. So this is future. So that is where the AIS system came in. But that is also another means for keeping lookout. Then you have got things like VHF. Somebody is telling you something. अरे उधर में ये है, संभाल के रहना. Correct? So that is why the information coming from VHF. It's giving a movement of something, or saying there is a truck broken down here on the road. We don't use in India much, but the countries where the population is less, like Australia or say New Zealand, USA also, internal population is very low. So that Canada, so they use VHF sets in cars also. They have got different radio systems, so you can inform. So similar things we also keep watch. So anything that gives us information about nearby traffic is considered part of lookout system. Now, what is important part? First thing, always when you are a watchkeeper, which you must know, and I do find this problem with a lot of your seniors. What is your ship speed? You must know in meters per minute. Meters per minute, and you should be able to have a normal judgment of what is 100 meters range, what is 200 meters range, 500 meters. You should have general idea. Like for example, from our classroom to your hostel, it is just about less than a kilometer. Okay, so this sort of a judgment you should have. Now what happens is we are going to convert say 20 knot speed, which is 620 meters per minute, And when your visibility is about 6 nautical miles, now 6 nautical miles is almost say almost 10 kilometers, which is a fairly good, because you don't even get that sort of a range on the roads at times because of pollution. If I see the target is big and I can see it, at 6 nautical miles I got only 18 minutes of time on my full speed, means my speed of 20 knots. 18 minutes of time. Now if that target is moving towards me at the same speed of mine, I get only 9 minutes time before the collision can happen. This is important part what everybody has to remember, and your lookout should be based on this information. This is one of the informations, it has to be linked with this. And I find this is one of the problems when I get guys coming back from sea also. They are not aware how many meters you move per minute. Like there is one thing I keep on asking them. I ask somebody a question. Okay. I have got a ship on my starboard beam. Okay, starboard beam at 1 nautical mile away. That means 1.85 kilometer away from me on my starboard beam. Doing same speed. Okay, doing same speed. If she maintains her course and speed, can you collide with her? You are allowed to alter your course any way you like. Can you collide with her? Tell me, give me answer. Nisarg, can we collide? She doesn't change her course. She just maintains her speed. Okay? Assuming she is doing 20 knots. You are doing 20 knots. Can you collide? Rehan says yes. Nisarg says yes. You see, this is exactly I wanted to bring out. Okay, the thinking process when you are in charge of your craft and you are following all these rules. This is exactly what I get. Means you are not different. And these answers are wrong. Because there are two ships going around, same speed. By the time you alter towards her, she is going to keep on moving. If your speed is same and you are on say parallel course, by the time you alter course towards her and reach her to cover 1 kilometer, 1 nautical mile or more, you 620 meters, 620 meters, 620 meters, that will make 1 nautical mile. So you need minimum 3 minutes. 3 minutes that ship will move 1 nautical mile ahead. Try it. Okay, this is a trick question, but you try it. You will never be able to collide. This is something you have to understand, the dynamic movement. As you are moving, other target is also moving. It is not fixed. The issue comes up then, when you get into error of judgments and all, and then you have got something like a vessel engaged in fishing which is hardly moving, and you have got a speed, then there is a possibility. But if you are moving at the same speed, you can't collide on the parallel, not possible. Okay, and this is also coming from something else. Assume there are two persons here, one here, one here. Okay, they have to meet, and one says I will cover half distance. Okay, he covers half distance. Can they meet if other one doesn't move from his place? Means you have got spot A and B. A can travel only 50% of distance between A and B. and B doesn't move, can they meet? Rehan, Risika, no. Correct. Who else says no? Yeah, this has got something to do with some maths or something. This is actually somebody else proved it. But this also is supposed to be a lesson. Means, morally people keep on using all this. That means if you want to meet somebody, both sides must move. It is not possible for one side to move, because one side can move only half a distance. So both have to move. So anyway, this was just it started off with the how whether you can collide or no. So the movements are dynamic, and that is what you have to realize when you think about all the lookout, safe speed, everything, and the collision regulations. Now, what is what? Watch keeping is watch keeping, and lookout is a part of the watch keeping activity. Now, what is it? I have to see 360 degrees. Now, 360 degrees, I may not be able to see unless I am right sitting on the topmost part of the ship, which is not possible. And once upon a time, they used to have a lookout man who used to climb up on sailing ships. You must have seen in movies. He used to climb up, and he used to be, there was something called crow's nest, sort of a basket like arrangement where person used to sit topmost part. It was like punishment also at times, but that guy was very important because he could see land or anything before anybody else. And we are talking when there were no charts. So you must have seen, read about it, and you must have seen in movies also that lookout man shouts land, land, and everybody starts dancing down and all like that. Okay. So you have to be on highest spot to see maximum. So bridge is the topmost position. But in bridge, you have got a funnel behind. Funnel can't be below bridge because then the smoke can come in and it can kill you. So funnel is also taller than the bridge. Then you may have some crane, something forward, possible. Or the bridge, it cannot see 360 degrees. So what happens is, you can't be in one place. You have to cover up the blind sectors caused by the structure of the ship. So the blind sector can be in horizontal way, in horizontal plane. That is blind sector. In horizontal plane, I know between, say, relatively, okay, from 355 to 005 I cannot see. Why? Because the crane is in the middle. Then I will say from, say, 120 degrees to 240 I cannot see because funnel is coming in the middle. So I have got blind sectors. Those blind sectors must be covered. Now how do you cover it? Either you have got two lookout men. One is looking in the blind sector, one is looking there. Other one is you keep on moving, so blind sector keeps on shifting. So it becomes like a scanning. That one scan is over, after 5 minutes another scan, and something like that of the blind sectors. Another method. Now, okay, this is a horizontal plane. You also have blind sector in a vertical plane. Why? Because there is something in front of me and I am looking like this. So whatever is below this, I cannot see. That happens with every ship. Ballast passage, it is higher because the bow comes out and you are standing here. So what you see is there is a blind sector. And this blind sector can be as much as, depending on a ship, can be about 1 kilometer also. Container ships is the worst situation if your bridge is aft. If bridge is forward, you don't, then you have got blind sector aft. So the blind sectors are there, sideways and vertical dips also. Like car, when you are driving, there is a certain blind sector in the front and back. So that is where you put rear, you put a camera, front, it is your judgment only. And that's why you see some people actually put some, this some of the typical village vehicles or a small town vehicle, they put a rod there so the driver can judge it better. Why? Because there is a blind sector. और sometimes when you have to do the close parking, what do you do? एक गाड़ी से उतरता है, आने दो. Why? Blind sector exists. The same blind sectors are also on ships. So the responsibility comes on a duty officer to ensure that blind sectors are also covered in lookout. Now, another one thing comes is we have got radar. Radar. Yes, radar also has got blind sectors. Plus, there are certain errors which come with radar and certain limitations are there with radar. It's not that the radar is perfect. All types of radars have been tried out. Radar tells you this is the object. That's it. Except for military radars, where they use entirely different technology and it is secret stuff. You generally, अभी ये कौन बबीता बन गया? Yes, the enemies are supposed to attack from blind sectors only. That is the idea, isn't it? Guerrilla warfare is same. Who is Babita Iyer now? Who has changed the name? Okay, छोड़ दो. अभी वही देख देख के ये गड़बड़ हो गया तुम्हारा. Okay, so you got blind sectors. Radar sets have got limitations. The military radars are supposed to differentiate between the solid from liquids and all, something like that. Okay, and or heat and all, lot of stuff is there, but it's not something under our purview. Now, one of the questions when I ask people on lookout is, you see there is a lot of activity going on, like sailing boats are going across, small speed boats are going on. It is summertime, people are enjoying life, they are playing over in water. Okay, that is what happens. You will find big flashy sails, people are sailing, they are using motor boats, speed boats, maybe some guys involved in fishing, anything, and you are going to go there. So where will you look out? Now see, what happens is everybody has got also mental block. Okay, I will increase lookout. Very good. Where will you place lookout man? I'll put him on a bridge wing. Fine. Is it good enough? Yes, sir. No, this is where the mistake comes. Where do you put additional lookout man? Your additional lookout man has to cover the blind sectors. Because other one you can see, no? What I don't. Fine, thank you बबीता जी. ऐसा ही होता है ना वो तारक मेहता में, बबीता जी. Okay. So blind sectors exist between in horizontal plane where the one wing and other wing and you cover up, right? Fine, because then you are covered up 360. But what about a blind sector caused by vertical plane? In vertical plane, you also have got a blind sector under the ship's bow or the stern. Now, normally, for collision avoidance, if you have to have additional lookout man to check under the bow, because that is your blind sector, especially smaller targets which you can't see easily, you put a lookout man on the forecastle. That lookout man keeps on giving the feedback. Yes, there is a small boat, but वो clear हो जाएगा. No, this will not clear. Then you blow the whistle and do all sorts of things. Normally the smaller guys keep clear, but you have to also warn them that ज़्यादा पास में मत आओ. Same thing the way we drive the car among motorcycles and all, and cycles, same way. if required. Now normally navigation purpose, you have got both wings covered up to take care of all the blind sectors horizontally, and say a man put forward because you feel the need of it, excessive traffic, anything, to cover up the forward blind sector. Aft normally we don't bother. Why? Because navigation is going on in a straight direction, so there is no need. When do we add a lookout man aft? When we expect pirate dangers, because I cannot see clearly from the bridge pirate boats, so we put a lookout man aft who keeps on checking the blind sector aft. So that is what is lookout is about. Where will you put extra lookout man? Answer should be to cover up all the blind sectors. And then somebody can ask you, what blind sectors? You explain the horizontal blind sectors because of the ship's obstructions, the structural obstructions, and vertical because the angle between the bridge and the forecastle or the stern going over the cargo container ships, and those are the blind sectors which you need to cover with extra lookout. But okay, now at sea, you don't really expect anybody in mid-Pacific, mid-Atlantic. You don't really expect. And all the sailboats and all, they have got very colorful sails. The idea of colorful sails is also to attract attention. Okay? So that the bright colors are seen quickly at sea. So if at all you run into one, you may. Normally, at times, you don't see a ship if you're crossing Pacific on a odd route. Odd route you don't see for days and days. You just don't see a ship. That's it. But lookout has to be kept, because lookout is for, it may be a small boat, it may be somebody looking for help, whatever it is. So lookout is kept. Normally single person keeps in good weather. If the weather is difficult, then we put another lookout man. Night time we always have got two lookout men in a period of darkness. That is one duty officer and one assistant. If required, you can call more. But if you are going to use hand steering, he cannot be considered as a lookout man. Lookout man doesn't do any other work except lookout. It is not part-time job. Okay? It's not part-time job. It is a full-time job. It is not part attention lookout or मैं इधर काम कर रहा हूँ. No. So what happened, Babita ji? Okay. So, see, now more and more systems are coming in. You will have CCTV cameras, a lot of stuff will come in, to give you visibility. So this visibility part, you are going to get the night scopes and all, which we use also night scopes. It's not that something unusual today. But you are going to get some more aids to keep better lookout. Right now what we consider a person with aid of a binocular. Binocular is there, very good. And if normal weather is there, you see distance. Some people can see better, some people see little less, but you are going to pick up most of the things. You are going to get into infrared technologies and all to pick up things, heat signatures and all that. Armed forces and all use it. We don't use them on merchant ships exactly, but night scopes I have seen. They were already on board on CMA, CGM ships, the night scopes, because to pick up pirates and all, it is handy. Then, when you want to see in darkness, always remember there shouldn't be any lights around. If there are lights, there is a backscatter, means you can test it yourself. If there are too many lights, you can't see things clearly. Stand in your window and look on the road. If there are lots of lights and all, you don't see details. You see light, but you don't see details of the place so well. If the lights are not there, you see better. And if your own lights also you switch off, you see better. This is something you have to do, experiment and believe in it. Now, uh, your glasses can be means for lookout. It may be a tool for your lookout. The reason being, I'm not talking numbered glasses. Numbered glasses is okay, accepted because you see better. The one which blocks glares. Okay, the glare is there when you are looking. When the sun is rising or setting, and you are looking in same direction, the reflection is there. Okay, go Babita ji, go. Thank you for visiting us. Okay. So the glare is there. So your sunglasses are also okay. Bye bye. Sunglasses are also part and parcel of lookout man's gear. Once upon a time, people had a lot of issues about it. When I was sailing, I heard about अरे गॉगल लगा के कैसा करेगा, दिखेगा कैसा. But I personally felt nothing was wrong, and now it's accepted. Then hearing is the issue. If you are in AC and all the doors are closed, you may not hear what somebody is saying outside. So normal practice on the ship is you keep one door open. You keep one door open so you can hear. So that AC is also there, one door is open. Suppose you have to close it, both the doors. Excessively cold, anything. And if you have to have a lookout man, there is a place outside, just next to the doors, if you have got doors, okay, and bridge wings. There is a cavity where even lookout man is well protected from winds and all. That is the area which doesn't have wind. Just next to the bridge, you will always notice, just next to the bridge wing door, you will find a small cavity like thing with a fixed porthole there, fixed glass. So that doesn't have any wind draft and all. So lookout has to be proper. Hearing, sight, all available means perfectly okay. Idea is you should detect something that can harm you. That's it. Now what is the time? 43. So now any doubts on this lookout? Okay, bye. Bye. Abhi stop disturbing. So, any doubts on this rule? Because this rule, you people are going to ask you n number of times. Any doubts? Anybody is in the class? Anyone is in the class? Risika, are you there? Very good. Dave, are you there? Radar also, okay, there is a question. The radar not constructed higher than the funnel. It is about similar height. It may be higher. There is nothing like fixed, saying a radar scanner is above this or below this. There is no rule exactly. It depends on, in the end what happens is ships do have to pass under some bridges and all. So those bridges, you have to work out the height of the ship. I was on a ship where our funnel was the highest, tallest one. Okay, the height of the funnel pipe. So it was collapsible. To go under the bridge, we used to collapse it, go clear the bridge, then we used to pick it up again. Because another problem is the output, which is exhaust gas output with carbon deposits and all. If funnel is too low, it will not clear the ship. It will start dropping on the ship. So the funnel normally becomes tallest part above all the turbulence created, so that the exhaust gas can be released in atmosphere straight without getting back in the ship's atmosphere. So this is also one of the reasons the height of the funnel is normally higher. Normally. Sometimes it may be slightly less, but normally that uh, where you release the smoke, that should be without turbulence. That area should not have any turbulence, and ship creates turbulence. There is not something ship doesn't create or something, ships create turbulence. So this is designing thing. Probably you ask one of the naval architects or something, he will explain you better than me. You have got some naval architect teaching you, na? है क्या नहीं है? We have naval architects teaching, so maybe. No, the blind sectors will be there regardless of how you make your ships, because ship is what made practically. Ship is like truck. Ship is not a car. Okay, designed to carry cargo. Car, you can have all fancy cars what you see in pictures look fancy, and you start wondering that whether this can actually go on the road or where do you see them, because those models and all look so nice, great in showrooms, smooth looking things and all, but those are cars, they're designed for that. We are trucks, so no matter what we do, we will always end up with a construction where there will be blind sectors. You can put bridge right in the front on the bow. You will not have in front, but you will have it aft. And believe me, if you have got bridge right on forecastle, during pitching, it is horrible feeling. No? Normally, somewhere in the middle is always good. And then people have tried to put extra radars and all also in to cover up blind sectors, but still there is always some blind sector. So depending on the traffic density, we do it. In very bad weather, you can't risk a person's life. Bad weather, normally we try our best. You can't have a person always standing in the front. That is only when required very badly. That is in coastal water, on especially a narrow channel or something. That time you have got somebody in front. Other than that, normally you don't have somebody on forecastle. And bad weather, if it is a rain or extra cold, snow, anything, and ship is at sea, normally the lookout man will also be in the wheelhouse, protected from weather. Lookout man has to be protected from weather also. It's not that खड़ा करके रखो उधर में, वो जमाना गया. You want output from the guy. You have to. So generally, both of them are there. One is on port side, one is on starboard side, and bridge can be like even smallest is 20 meters across, 30 meters across. So it's a distance. Then you cover up everything. Any other questions? Hmm? Anything? No? Babita ji, you have to go. It's time. Hmm. So any other questions on this rule? Because next one I can start. It is bigger rule. I don't want to start now for 5 minutes sake. It is a bigger one. Here you have to learn so many points. No sir, no sir, no sir. But think about what I told you, how to learn this in a dynamic conditions. Things are moving, that is where you have to make your judgments, and you should know approximately in meters. You train your eyes to see a distance. The one of the reason is what happens is you're turning circles. Turning circles are generally about maybe 2.5-3 times the length of the ship. Okay, ship to ship it will vary according to weather also it will vary, currents and all, sea conditions and all, but approximately that. Now what happens is your turning circle is say 600 meters, 700 meters, fine, that is tactical diameter, and the ship is 1.8 miles away from you. And this dynamic part is I can give hard over to starboard, ship starts swinging, takes the half circle, and that ship is still away from me, and by the time she has moved away also. This is why I asked you that question. Imagine, this is something, now leave the rules from here, but just start imagining that how situation actually happens. Unfortunately, our teaching methods we don't have really good simulations. Why do you need reducing turning circles and all? There are methods. If you have got a twin screw, means two engines, you can do it much faster, but that is used for maneuvering. You see, for collision avoidance is something else. Maneuvering is where you need to move it in a short distance. At sea, why do you worry about it? And you don't have so many accidents. We are training you that you should not have accident, and you don't get so many. The thing is, there are certain mental blocks in understanding that, if I go there, I'll collide. You don't realize it. 1 nautical mile is lot of distance when you are taking a collision avoidance action, because it is not in front of you. Front of you, then there is hardly any time. But in the end, you are going to deal in meters. Collision avoidance will be always dealt in meters. Why? Why do you want to know whether I am Brahmin? Because I eat non-veg. You get it? What I am saying, Rayan? We don't have to worry that much, but you should be aware of your playground. Like when you drive, right? When you drive, you see the road's width, correct? And then you know whether you can take a U-turn or can you turn around or no, correct? It's something like that. अरे बाबा अभी छोड़ दे दिस बबीता का रोल. Very good. But I don't like Babita ji. I don't see that program. It is going on for donkey's years. I don't see the program. And my choices are different. Means I don't like very fair girls and all like that. Okay, Babita ji, so bye bye. Okay, we can call it a day then. Hmm? Yes, no. Okay, I call it a day then.